Hi guys, and welcome back to another video game with the powers. I'm Jake, and in today's video, guys, I'm going to be showing you a short playthrough of the board game Doomlings, specifically taking a look and showcasing the brand new Castle Glass expansion for this game. If you guys are interested in this Castle Glass expansion, I will go ahead and drop the link in the description below where you can pick this up. And also, I do believe Doomlings is still running a special right now. Whenever you guys purchase an expansion or something from their website, you can get a free Headless Horseman or Pumpkin Head trait holofoil card with your purchase. All right, guys, when it comes to the Castle Glass, again, this is considered a Bolster expansion. This is going to have about 40 cards plus one holo foil. Let's go ahead and jump down to the table where I am going to showcase this Castle Glass expansion. All right, guys, down here at the table, we got everything set up for a two-player game of Doomlings. Really quickly, I do want to take a look and show you guys this Castle Glass expansion. So here is the Bolster expansion, right? 40 cards plus one holo foil. You can see on the back here, kind of a little synopsis. Welcome to Castle Glass, where the finest treasures aren't gold, they're fish, coral, and shells. Collect these dazzling gems of the shore to outshine your rivals. Bask in the sun, let the waves soothe your soul, and don't let the end of the world ruin your perfect vacation. This does require the Doomlings base game to play. Now, when it comes to the video today, guys, I do want to note that the whole purpose of this is to showcase off a lot of the Castle Glass cards. So I have only mixed in a couple cards from the base game. So there might be some wonky combinations or wonky things that you see here in this playthrough that would not normally happen in a base games of Doomling, because like this box says, this is meant to be integrated and mixed in with the base game, not standalone by itself. But my purpose with this video is to explicitly showcase the cards and mechanics here of this Castle Glass expansion. So how does the Castle Glass expansion works? So there are going to be three new trait classes. We are going to have shells, corals, and fish, okay? And when it comes to the scoring for these shell, corals, and fish, it says at the end of the game, after counting drop of life bonuses, we are going to sort our cards. If you have two or more cards from the same class, each card in that class is worth extra points. See below. So plus 1 point for class cards, or plus 2 for curious class cards, or plus 3 for exotic class cards. And they have a scoring example here on the back of how you are going to score some points. So that's kind of what we are doing. We are trying to collect these Castle Glass cards. Now, I want to make this also as random as possible. So I will just be playing randomly from the top of these decks and giving them a shuffle or the player's hands every time to just kind of give us a surprise and see what cards await us. And that way I don't have a surprise, or I have surprise as well. All right, guys, well, let's go ahead and jump right in, not waste any more time, and play some Doomlings. Of course, if I do make a mistake, I do apologize. It has been a while since I've gotten Doomlings to the table, but let's see what we got. Of course, guys, we have our trait pile. We have our Ages deck set up, and I do have two of the Ages and one of the Catastrophes here from the Castle Glass expansion in this one as well. All right, the first player is going to be over here. The second player is going to be over here. The first player will go ahead and flip over our Birth of Life. Everybody's going to set their gene pool to 5, which we have done so. And now we are going to play one trait each turn and then stabilize at the end of the turn. All right, so the first player, let's give his 5 cards a shuffle here and see what he is going to play. We are going to play Buttery Fins. All right, so this is an exotic fish card. In is going to give us 1 point. Let me see. I can actually probably put it down here and you guys will still be able to see that. Perfect. Okay, so that player has played their trait. They will now stabilize at the end of their turn, drawing 1 card from the deck. And I'll actually show you the cards that we drew. So we get Petardines right there, gets it back, and we'll give that a shuffle. And now we're going to move on to the second player. All right, giving the second player a shuffle here, and let's see the card that is coming out. We have a Keystone. All right, he is a dominant exotic coral worth 5 points. Go ahead and drop them down right here. And then he is going to need to stabilize up to 1 card, which is Biochromatic. All right, biochromatic, and we'll give that a shuffle. Back over to player number 1. We're gonna need to flip over a new age, and we have Castle Glass. Look at that. So this is one of the new ages in this expansion. So discard 2 from your hand, then draw 2 cards. You cannot discard shells, corals, or fish. Okay, this is gonna be one of those wonky interactions, guys, where we might, let me see if I have any regular. So I do have all shells, coral, and fish. So in this particular instance, guys, this is one of those wonky scenarios that would normally or could not normally happen in a standard game, but because this is a modified playthrough of this game, I'm gonna go ahead and just discard 2 random cards from my hand and place them in the discard pile, and I get to draw 2 cards. So a black and blue and fish collector. All right, so that was me, player 1, doing through the age, and let's see what we are gonna play. We are gonna play fish collector. All right, so this is steal a face of. Well, unfortunately, we are not going to be able to do this because I don't think dominant traits, if I remember correctly, dominant traits cannot be stolen. Let me double check. Yep, they cannot be swapped, stolen, discarded, returned, or removed. So our fish collector is going to provide no value, and we will need to stabilize getting cold blood. All right, that is a standard. That is a standard card there in the Doomlings universe. Okay, moving over to this player over here. Let's see if we have all shells and fish. We do. So again, same thing. Again, guys, I do want to note that this is not a normal interaction that would happen in a standard version of Castle Glass, or a standard playthrough of Doomlings, but because my intent is to specifically showcase all of the cards in Castle Glass expansion, we are going to have to discard some cards. Okay, so that was his discard 2 from the hand, then draw 2. And let's see what random card we are going to be playing. And it is biochromatic. So all opponents discard all colorless from their hand and stabilize. Okay, let's see if we have any colorless. We do not have any colorless. Okay, so we do not need to worry about that. He's got 4 cards. We'll need to stabilize with a prepper. All right. And then we are going to move on back to the first player. So we will draw a new age card. And we have arid land. So players cannot play blue traits. Okay, players cannot play blue traits. So what I will do is take the blue traits out. And then we'll give this a mix here. And take this off screen. Close my eyes really quickly. Actually, I can do it in front of here. Close my eyes. And we're going to go with this card right here. We have black and blue. All right, black and blue. A little too green too. So we'll drop him down and move some of these cards over just a smidge. Okay. And we'll need to stabilize back up to 5 for Mindful. And that will be the end of his turn. So moving on to this player. We cannot play any blue traits. We don't have any blue traits. All right. Let's go ahead and give this a nice little shuffle. Flip this over. And what do we got? Glossy. All right. We have the Glossy card. Drop that down there, stabilize back up to 5, natural symmetry, and moving back over to this player. So we're going to draw a new age card, and we have our first catastrophe, okay? AI take over. So -1 to the gene pool, and then we're going to discard all but 1 card from the hand. So -1 to the gene pool, each player is going to be at 4. All right, the first player is going to shift. So now this is the first player. So he must discard all but 1 card from his hand. Alrighty, and we'll take that card, discard the rest. And then the other player will do that too. Let's take this one, discard all these, and then that's what they have to play. So this player is now the first player, so he will take his turn. He's going to play Prepper. Wow, look at that. At world ends, choose a world end effect from the 3 catastrophes played for the players to end on. All right, so we'll start building our line over here. That is the end of his turn, so he will need to draw back up to 4. We get Crystal Skeleton, Spiral Drone, Brainy, and Spiny Fins. Okay, Moving over to this player, the only card he has available here is Title Tolerance. So at World Ends, choose an opponent +1 for each blue in their trait pile. Alrighty, so that's what we have, and then we'll draw 4 Pearl, Tabular, Striated, and Guanine Crystals. Okay, back over to this player. We are now in a second era. We have Natural Harmony. So Natural Harmony, you may not play a trait of the same color as the last trait you played. So we played a colorless last time. Let's go ahead and give this a mix and see what we got. Spiny Fins. Alrighty, so we can play 1 and then discard it. So, cannot discard dominant traits. So let's play Spiny Fins. Play 1. Ooh. But do we just play another card and then discard it? Is that what it's saying? So we would play Spiral Drone. Alrighty, so we will play Spiral Drone into our pile, which allows us to draw 2 cards, which is a Kidney and Sweat. Alright, and then we would have to discard Spiral Drone. Alright, so that is this player's turn. Moving over here, we may not play a blue, right? Title Tolerance is a blue. So as long as we don't have a blue, we do have a colorless, which is Tabular. All right, Tabular is our new card. We will go back up to 4, and I'll show you what that is. Radial Symmetry. Okay. And back over to this player. New Age. New Age, we have Tectonic Shift. So players cannot play green traits. All right, so do I have any green traits? I do not. All righty, let's give this a shuffle. Drop this over, and we're playing Brainy. All right, opponents cannot play purple on their next turn, but you must remind them. All right, we're going to drop this over here with the colorless or the prepper to see what we got. We need to move back up to 4, Harboring. All righty, and I'm going to take these off the time now. Okay. Moving over to this player. So this player cannot play purple or green. All right, so we're going to put this green over to the side and see what the random card we're going to be getting is. And we have Radial Symmetry. So on the start of your turns, you may discard all of one color from your hand. All right, I like that. I like that. So we can discard one color of our hand. At the start of our turns, we get our 4th one. Back over to this player. Okay, New Age. We have Magic Hour. So this is one of the New Age cards in Castle Glass. So it says draw 2 or set your gene pool to 5. I think this player is going to decide to set his gene pool to 5. All right, we are going to take our turn here. And let's see what we got. Crystal Skeleton. All players discard all dominance from hand and stabilize. That is a huge, huge one right there. We're going to put that next to Glossy so we can see that. All right, so all dominance. Okay, he has no dominant cards. I believe this player has 1 dominant card, and then he needs to stabilize up to 4. So Thermal Tolerance. Okay, so we have played. We need to stabilize ourselves. So we have Resplendent and Spiral Motion are the 2 cards bringing this player up to 5. And then we go over to this player. And you know what? I think he's going to do the same thing. Set his gene pool to 5. I think in the long run that might be better for him. And let's see what random card we are going to be grabbing. All right, so we are playing Thermal Tolerance. So at World's End, choose an opponent +1 for each red in their trait pile. And we're going to drop that right there underneath this discard pile. And I'll move that discard pile up so we can kind of see what is going on there. And we need to stabilize the 5. So Banal and Opulent. Okay, back over to this player. The next card, we have a new Catastrophe, okay? Nuclear Winter. So -1 to the gene pool. Stabilize, then discard 1 card from your hand. So everybody's got to go -1. We're going back to 4. on both of our players, and we're going to stabilize, then discard 1 card. So we'll start with this player. He is stabilizing down to 4, so he is going to need to discard a random card from his hand. So this will be discarded. And then it also says discard an additional random card from the hand, and we will do this card. Alrighty, so that is his world end effect. This guy right here, let's go this card for stabilizing down to 4, and then we'll do this one for the discard. Okay, this player is going to be the first player here, so we'll take the top card from the deck. We have Striated, all right, for 3, and we'll drop that down in there. His space is starting to get full. We need to stabilize up to 4, Glass Predator and Copper Band. All right, moving back over to this player now. He will play his card, and we're going to play Respendulant. All right, so +1 to the gene pool, and then we can play 1 card. All right, that is his second dominant, so he cannot have any more dominant traits out there. So +1 to the gene pool. We can play another card. Let's play this Sweat. Discard 1 card from your hand. Ooh-wee. All right, so discard 1 card from your hand. He's got to discard this, and that is his full turn. So we need to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, that is his new 5 cards. Okay, back over to this player. He is the new person in this age. We have Age of Dracula. All right, so discard 1 random card from your hand. If Vampirism is in your trade pile, steal 1 random card from an opponent's hand. Okay, so 1 random card. Let's just take this one, and it's Banal. No. Okay, we'll play a random card, and let's see what we get. We get Copper Band. Play 1 card with a face value of 1. All right, 1 card with a face value of 1. Do we have anything with face value of 1? We do not, so we cannot play that. So we will need to go back up to our gene pool, which is going to be 4. And that's going to be the end of our turn. And I'm actually running out of cards. You've seen almost every card in the Castle Glass expansion. All right, discard 1 random card. I think what I'll do is just reshuffle that deck and play that. And then we will play Swarm. All right, we're playing Swarm there. Okay, let's go back up to 5. So Wild and Sunny. Look at that. Wild and Sunny are the last 2 cards. Let me go ahead and give this discard pile a shuffle, and we will just keep moving right along with this one. All right, Birth of a Hero. If you hold Heroic, play it without restriction. I don't believe anybody in here does hold Heroic. We do not. I don't think Heroic's in here. Nobody holds Heroic. Okay, so this player is going to play his random card here, and we have Glass Predator, okay? Glass Predator is coming out. When you play Glass Predator, steal 1 from its opponent's trait pile, then play 1. Ooh. I think we'll steal the Crystal Skeleton. All right, we'll steal the Crystal Skeleton, and then I can play another one from my hand, and we will play Opulent. All right, draw 1 and play 1. Ooh-wee. This player is going bananas. So draw 1. We get a Spiral Drone. All right, and then we can play another card. Let's drop that out. We get Memory. You may discard your hand and stabilize. Alrighty, we can discard our hand and stabilize, which we're not going to do that, but we will stabilize anyway for the end of our turn. So that is 3 and 4. Okay, back over to this player. He's just going to play at random, as always, and let's see what we get. He cannot play a dominant, so we'll do a new card. He cannot play a dominant. Inventive. Okay, Inventive. Play an action from an opponent's trait pile. So I think his action is going to be, we'll do discard your hand and stabilize. All right, so he will discard 4 cards from his hand and draw 5 new cards. Okay, 3, 4, and 5. Get rid of some of those dominants. and that is the end of his turn. So moving over to the age, and we have the final catastrophe here, which is Still Waters from the Castle Glass expansion. So a -2 to the gene pool. So we are down to 3 for this player, and we are down to, oh man, we're down to 2 for this player. All right. Then draw 3, do not stabilize to end your turn this age. So draw 3 for everybody. 1, 2, and 3. And then he's going to draw 3 as well. 1, 2, 3. And then that is going to signal the end of the game here. So we would go to the World's End, which this particular pace of Still Waters is +8 if your gene pool is 1. However, this guy does have Prepper, which allows him to choose one of the World's End's effect and apply that one. So this is discard 1 color's trait from your trait pile. Each color's trait is now worth 2. Ignore all colors trait effects. I think he'll do this one. All right, Nuclear Winter. So everybody's going to need to discard 1 colorless trait from their trait pile. So he'll do that. He has to get rid of Tabular. And then now we are going to go to scoring. So if you guys are not familiar with scoring, basically the number of values on the cards are going to get added together. Any other effects on these type of cards, any color effects on these type of cards will apply as well from World's End. And then, as I mentioned, guys, with the Castle Glass expansion here, you are going to score these class bonuses depending on the different numbers of traits that you have, whether they're shell, coral, or fish. And you can see there 1 point for the standard class, 2 points for any curious cards, and 3 points for the exotic fish. And you can see some examples of the scoring right here on this particular card. I'm not going to do any scoring right now because that would be a lot of math to try and figure out, because like I said, I primarily played with a lot of the Castle Glass cards. But this is a in-depth look at the cards that came in my Castle Glass Bolster expansion, the newest expansion for the hit card game called Doomlings. Alrighty guys, well look, if you enjoyed a look at this expansion, go ahead and do me a favor, smash that like button, hit that notification bell, drop down in the comments below, have you guys heard of Doomlings or played Doomlings before, and did you enjoy it? Do you have a lot of the Doomlings? Comment, let me know your thoughts and opinions. And last but not least guys, if you're not subscribed to our channel, please go ahead and subscribe so we can keep bringing you some more awesome content. Alright guys, have a great one. Bye.